Hello. My name is Ashley Abbott. Welcome to my channel. Today we are doing a part 2 of the Q&A. I did a part 1 answering some questions, and some of these questions tie into one another. So if you want to catch that one first, I'll link it up here, and I'll also link it down below in the description box. But we are just getting back into these questions today. There's a lot of fun ones. I've already had so much fun in part 1, and I can't wait to finish this with you guys in part 2. So we are just going to jump right into these questions. So let's get started, you guys. What was your favorite subject in school? Science. Science all the way. I love all the science things. Chemistry, biology. I did so well in those classes. I loved science. I still love science. Love science back then. Love science now. But anyway, next question. Any big plans for the rest of 2024? I'd say I don't have a ton of anything going on. I am traveling for Thanksgiving to see some family and to be with family, which is something I do every year. But other than that, no. As far as big plans, there's no big plans. Worst injury. Worst injury. Let's see. Let me run through my injuries real quick, and y'all can decide which is the worst. Because I don't know. They all bad. Every time you get injured, it's terrible. I don't know. Worst injury. Okay, so I broke my ankle when I was little. I was chicken fighting on the monkey bars, and I fell off, and then the person that I was chicken fighting with fell on top of me and broke my ankle. So that was the situation when I was like 5 or 6. I was in kindergarten, however old you are in kindergarten, 5 or 6. So broke my ankle. I had a syncopal episode in my teens, in my late teens. I don't know if you can see this. I'll try to get close, but I have this scar right here. I cracked my head open, had a syncopal episode, which is basically like passing out, fell against my kitchen counter, cracked my head open on my kitchen counter, and then made it to the floor and busted my head open even more. So I had to get a couple stitches for that. That was quite an injury, a head injury. Oh, I have a blood clot that's lodged in my leg. So I have blood clotting disorder. This is all like very personal information I feel like I'm sharing. But I have a blood clotting disorder, so I get blood clots. I do take medication for that, but I still am prone to getting blood clots. So I went for a test one time that showed that I have a blood clot in my leg that was never found. And I don't know if it's considered still a blood clot now. I don't know the medical terminology. I'm not a medical professional, but I guess it like hardened or something, and it hardened to my vein. So I guess there's nothing they can do for it now because it's not still in the same form as a blood clot. It's like hard or something. I don't know. It's not going anywhere. So it's like hardened to my vein. So my blood is having to flow kind of in a different direction, kind of like over that. But I wouldn't really say that's an injury. I don't even know what you call that. But yeah, I guess that's kind of serious because I have a blood clot that was never found, which could have led to a stroke or something. So I'm lucky for that, but it's now hard in my leg in there for indefinitely, I guess. So I don't know if you'd consider that an injury, but those are some of the things that are coming to my mind right now. You decide what's the worst one. Do you have any tattoos? If so, do they have any specific meanings? Can you show any? I always wanted an ankle tattoo, but too scared. Currently, the answer is yes, I do have tattoos. I do have I have 3 tattoos. So I have one on my arm right here that says, "Still I Rise." That is a poem, if you would like to look it up. It's kind of, I guess, like an inspirational poem, I guess you could say. When I was in one of those dark times in my life that I was speaking about earlier, I got that as a reminder, basically to keep going. That "Still I Rise." If you read the poem, there is significant meaning to it, and it really resonated with me. So that is a daily reminder for me to keep going and to continue to rise. That is the meaning behind that one. I have a Scorpio on my foot because my zodiac sign is Scorpio. And I have this tattoo, which is the only tattoo that I can really show you right now, my name in stars. And I believe this was my first tattoo, or maybe it was my second. Yeah, I have this tattoo. I can't say that Really love that tattoo. That was maybe not the smartest decision to get my name tattooed on me, because a lot of annoying things come with that. Like, oh, you're gonna forget your name. I mean, maybe when I'm like 80 and senile, maybe it'll be a good reminder of what my name is then. I don't know. Like, that was a silly tattoo that I got when I was young and just legal to get a tattoo. So, whatever. There's no real meaning on that one. I wish I didn't have it. I have thought about getting it covered up a couple times because the stars and everything are kind of like wonky, and it's not a piece that I love, but it is there. Tattoos are permanent. Well, I guess nowadays they're not, but I'm not paying again to have this thing removed. If anything, I'll get it covered up. But I am currently working on another tattoo idea. Someone very close to me passed away in September of this year, and I have really been struggling with that, but I have been working on a tattoo piece for them. So yes, I do have tattoos, and I'm definitely working on another piece. What do you look for when making new friends? Y'all, we've already covered this. What friends are you talking about? I think I have to have current friends to be able to make new ones. Maybe that's how it goes. I don't know. Maybe having some of the same interests so we can do like some of the same activities together and enjoy like hobbies of the same interest. But yeah, I guess really the main thing that I look for when I want to surround myself with other people is for them to be a good person. If you're not a good person and you're not doing things genuinely and from the heart, then I can't be bothered with that, because that is very much who I am. So I want to be around the same people. I don't want to surround myself with nasty people. That's just not in me. So yeah, new friends, they need to be good people. That's the one, I guess, requirement, is they need to be a decent human. Biggest pet peeves. I hate to admit this, but I'm going to say a lot of things annoy me, which is another reason I don't really leave my house, because being in the general public is just really a lot. So, biggest pet peeve, I'd say rude people. I can't stand when there's like an entitlement to a person or something, where they feel like they're entitled, or they feel like their time is more important than yours. They're trying to jump in front of you in the line, or like in traffic, they're the people that ride down the whole merge lane to cut everybody off that has been sitting there waiting their turn, and then this person thinks that their time is more valuable than everybody else sitting there, and they're just going to ride the merge lane. Like, dude, this is why we're in traffic, because of people like you. That is not it. Like, that is not. I cannot stand that. So that's probably my biggest pet peeve. I just can't stand people in general that think that their time is way more valuable than anybody else. Like, you think everybody else don't got something to do? You don't think everybody else has a family? Like, everybody else has errands, everybody else has chores, everybody else has responsibilities. We all got them. Like, get in line. Like, the rest of us. Yeah, that's probably my biggest pet peeve, because that already got me going off. So yeah, rude people, people that think that their time is more valuable, entitled people. I can't stand any of that. All right, I need to stop. Biggest pet peeve. I gotta get off that one, because that is getting me riled up. All right, what are your goals for your channel? I think I kind of covered this in one of these other questions, but to build a community and to reach monetization. Simple. What first got you into ASMR? So what first got me into ASMR? Just being a kid and having female family members that would play with my hair and stuff. But then as I got older, I started watching YouTube for relaxation and sleep. And then once I started my own channel, I just thought, like, this is something that I enjoy, so maybe I would enjoy creating it as well. Have you seen any bands or artists in concert? As I get older, I really struggle with noise. I get really overwhelmed and overstimulated with loud noise. So, no, on the concerts. I don't know that I would be able to handle that, especially now. But even thinking back to when I was like a teenager, I don't know that I loved that I could deal with that. Like, I don't know if I could deal with a bunch of like screaming, jumping around people at a concert. I just think that sounds like a terrible time for me. Obviously, I know people love that. I have been to a couple like comedy like shows. So I've been to Bert Kreischer, I've been to Andrew Schultz, and I've been to Ron White. Um, but as far as like musical concerts, that is something that I don't think that I could handle just because of the sensory issue. It's like way too much for me. What is your star sign, and do you believe in horoscopes? Uh, I don't know if I know what a star sign is. Maybe someone enlighten me here, educate me. I don't. Is a star sign the same thing as like a zodiac sign? My zodiac sign is Scorpio, if that's the same thing. Um, yes, I believe in horoscopes, but I can't say that I read them all that often. But when I do, like, it is interesting. I do check those out from time to time. But I do believe that I am like a Scorpio through and through. Like, all the characteristics really match me. Every time I see something that is like stating things about a Scorpio, it aligns with me for the most part. So I don't know if I'm super proud of some of those things. Some of those things are maybe controversial or or whatever, but Scorpio here, and it really matches me for the most part, I'm gonna say. What do you think is the safest way? Oh my god, this question is hilarious. Like, I can't. What do you think is the safest way for animal control to catch a big bear on the loose in the neighborhood? Yeah, I gotta read that question again. That is hilarious. What do you think is the safest way for animal control to catch a big bear on the loose in the neighborhood? That's a real wild question too, because I live in bear country. Well, I shouldn't say I live in bear country. But there was a baby bear cub about 2 or 3 years now, found hit by a car outside of my neighborhood, and there have been sightings of a couple bears about 4 or 5 miles from my house recently. Like within the last several months, we've been getting alerts about a bear spotting within the like a couple mile radius of our house. So I don't want to say I live in bear country. That's kind of like exaggerating, but there are bears in my area. So that's hilarious that someone would ask me that. Well, I would say trapping a bear by food would probably be your best bet. I don't know how they're going to trap it, but I'd say like luring it in to something, some kind of trap or whatever with food items is probably your best bet. It's going to follow the food, and then trapping it. And I don't know how they're transporting it and everything. I don't know the size of this bear that we're speaking of, but it says a big bear. Um, I don't know how they're transporting and everything, but I'd say probably the first part of the whole process would be to lure it with food, and then I don't know, is tranquilizing it safe? I don't know. Maybe they're gonna put like a little sedative or something in the food and make it like take a little nap so they can transport it to wherever they're transporting it to. And then I can't even believe I'm talking about this. This is just so wild. Um, they're gonna put a little sedative into the food, and then they're gonna transport it to where they need to transport it to. I don't know. They're gonna let it back out into the wild somewhere. That's not in my neighborhood. Did you get your wisdom teeth removed? If so, any funny stories? Was it fast to fall asleep in the dental chair? I'm terrified. Okay. So, yes and no. I have gotten one of my wisdom teeth removed. I still have the other three. So, yes and no to that. I have gotten one of them removed, not all of them. I was actually not put to sleep for this procedure because it was just one. And the only reason I was getting this removed is because it was like decaying. So it was like crumbling. So I wasn't put to sleep for it because they thought it's just one, like it's going to be a fast procedure. They're just going to go in and like it's going to crumble to pieces anyway. So they're just going to rip what they can out and bada bing done. Well, that's not exactly how it happened. The dentist was in my mouth for a long time, yanking and pulling. Apparently, the root was like really in there or like really small, and he was having a really hard time extracting it. So I don't want to say that was a traumatic experience because it's like fine, whatever, but kinda, because he was really drilling and everything on my mouth for a while, and he was like, I don't know if I can get this out. Like, your root is so small, like it's so hard to remove, and it's so like resistant, like it's not like coming out. So they were having such a hard time removing it. After a long period of time, they finally got it out, but my whole face was swollen. Like, I was very sore and bruised for a little while after that. It was not the best experience, and it wasn't any fault to my dentist. Like, he didn't realize, like, going in, I guess, that it was going to be that type of situation. I guess in those situations you don't know until you know. But yeah, not the best experience, and I haven't had the need to have any more of them removed. But he did say that if it came time to have any others removed, that he would not be doing it in his office, and he would be recommending me to a dental surgeon that could take care of that, because he was not going to be dealing with that again. So, traumatic experience for him too, I guess. So, I don't know. Like, I have a high pain tolerance, so like, while it wasn't a fun experience by any means, like, it was just like, it's just something that happened, I guess. Like, whatever. I'm not really, I guess, too fazed by it. I also have had a ton of other medical procedures, so this, in comparison to some of the other ones that I've had, wasn't like too terrible. I have been put to sleep several times for a few surgeries, and like, I did get carpal tunnel surgery this year. I did a video on that. So I was put to sleep for that. I've had some other surgeries. I have had several procedures. So the dental one was really not a big deal to me in comparison to the other ones I've had. So yeah, don't be terrified. Like, I guess it's a different situation for everybody, but I don't know. I don't want to tell you don't be terrified, because maybe for you it is terrifying. For me, it wasn't terrifying, and I was awake. It was just, I don't know. That dental procedures don't bother me. It's just like, I guess maybe I'm desensitized to that stuff because I've had so many medical procedures throughout my lifetime so far that it's just what it is. Just is what it is. You just do it, you get it over with, it's done, and you move on. It's not always fun. Sometimes it does suck, and that's just part of being human. But if you do get your wisdom teeth out, whenever you do, good luck to you. I hope it all goes well, and I hope it's not traumatic or terrifying. But that is the end of the Q&A today, guys. Thank you for all these questions. I had a ton of fun answering them. Some of them were hilarious. That bear one really got me. That was a funny question. Hopefully my answer was helpful. I don't know why anyone would need to know that information, but that's just what I came up with. So hopefully you like that. Again, I had fun doing this. If there's any more questions that you want me to answer, just drop them below. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and maybe I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi guys, editing me popping in. Someone asked me 2 questions after I filmed this video, and I just wanted to answer those real quick. So I got some bonus questions here for you guys. But the first question is, what is your favorite childhood memory? And this is really a hard question for me because I don't want to say I had a terrible childhood or anything like that, but I guess I didn't have the best childhood. So when I'm thinking back to my childhood, I can't think of like this grand time or like a day that I really loved. I know I had days that were great and that I really loved, but it's like when I think back to that, all I can think about is like the hard times. So, or like a bad situation or a bad memory. So it's like I can't like really go back and think of a good time, even though I know there was. Don't get me wrong. I had a decent life, a decent childhood. It wasn't the greatest. I lived with a single mom. She did what she could. I love her so much. But I'm just trying to think like what my favorite childhood memory is, and to be honest, I don't think I have one. I will say that I know I got to be with family a lot, and I know around the holidays we all came together, and I got to go on vacations as a child, and I got to do all the things. So I would say maybe times being with my grandfather or my grandparents, or just us getting together as a family for the holidays. Everybody always came together, and that was a really special time. So I'm just gonna say, like, being with family or going on vacations, I know I had to love that when I was little. I don't have a super ton of memories of that, but I'm sure it was a great time. I don't know if my brain's just blocking that out or I'm just old and senile at this point and don't remember. But I can't really answer a specific favorite childhood memory. I'm really gonna have to think about that one. And maybe we'll revisit it like another time. The second question is, how would your friends describe you? And I'm sure they would have nothing but good things to say. Come on. I'm just kidding. But I think they would say that I am very chatty, very talkative. I'm the girl who's going to make the short story long. I'm going to give every detail. You're going to know all the tea. I'm going to spill everything. So that, for one, I would say they're going to say I'm the chatty friend who never stops talking. But I would say they would describe me as like the thoughtful friend, because if your child is sick, if your dad is going through an illness, if you're having family troubles, whatever it may be, if you're having a rough day, I'm the friend that's going to send you flowers. I'm going to reach out, see how you're doing. If you just had a baby and you're going through postpartum, I'm going to reach out and ask, how are you? Not just how the baby is, but how are you actually doing? So I would say I'm the thoughtful friend. I'm the one that's going to send flowers. I'm going to show up to the birthday party and bring a gift. Like, I'm going to do all those things. Like, if it's your birthday and we haven't seen each other in a year, let's get together. I want to buy you dinner. I want to buy you a drink. Like, let's do all the things. I'm going to be there. As adults, I think that we all get busy and hectic within our own lives, and we aren't able to talk every day or see each other all the time. Like, life is just going on. So I would say they would also describe me as the friend who, like, we may not talk every day, but when we do get together, like, we pick up right where we left off. Like, there's been no time passed. So I would like to think they would say those things about me. They might always say, like, I'm the little spicy one too. Like, like, I'm the one with the mouth. So, like, don't be coming over and saying something crazy to me, because I will cause a scene. I am not demure. So I would say they would definitely say that about me. Like, I'm the friend with the mouth. I'm not only going to talk your ear off, but I'm going to say some wild stuff too. So I think that pretty much wraps that up for these questions. I hope you guys like this video, and thanks for watching. Bye.